Namaste children, I warmly welcome you all to Prasann Vidya Mandir Mamandur, Class 2, Subject EVS, Lesson Allo Day, Topic Communication. Video part, this is a single video which asks about the whole lesson. Prepared by me, J. Sangeeta. Handling teachers are Miss Indumadi, Miss Jyoti Lakshmi and Miss Monica. Expected learning outcomes. Students, you will be able to identify the uses and needs for communication. List the different modes of communication. Describe the ways to communicate safely. So let's get into the topic. Communication. What is meant by communication? I am speaking to you and you're also listening and you're getting information. So when I speak to you and you hear something, that is called as communication. I am communicating something to you. All of us share ideas, thoughts and information with others around us. Ma'am is sharing my ideas and thoughts and information about communication topic to you. As the same, all of us share ideas, thoughts and information with others around us. The act of sending and receiving these messages is known as communication. Now, ma'am is using this video link as a mode of communication. As the same, we are sending and receiving the messages is known as communication. The act of sending and receiving these messages is known as communication. What are the ways for communication? Do you all know what are the ways for communication? Yes. Tring, 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 tring. Yes. What is the sound of it? It is a very old telephone ringing sound. But nowadays, we are also having mobile phones. Let's check out for the telephone. We use telephone to talk to people who are near and far. We use telephone to talk to people who are very near and who are very far. We can also make ISTD calls to the person who are living in the abroad or in any other foreign countries. We can make use of the telephones to make the ISTD calls, STD calls, and we used to do the communication. So telephone was very useful for us in the beginning stages. Now everything comes in the mobile phone. It's a compact. A mobile phone can be carried and used almost everywhere we go. Telephone cannot be taken to wherever we go. It has the wire. So it has to be fixed at one place. It should be in our home or in the shop. Then only we can make the calls in the telephone. But for mobile phone, it is very easy accessible. We can take the mobile phone wherever we go, to wherever place, whichever place, to whoever you want to call. You can use the mobile phones to make the calls. It is very easy accessible. The mobile phone can be carried and used almost everywhere we go. Even nowadays we are doing the SMS. When the person is not able to reach, immediately we give the SMS or we give the message to them. So whenever they are available, they can see the message and they can make use of it. What is the purpose they are called? So next comes the important communication. Postcard. Postcard. Before mobile phones, we used to write letters. We used to write letters. Before all the telephones have been invented, we used to write the letter to the relatives and friends stating that how they are. To know all the information, we used to write letters. So postcards are being used as a mode of communication. Some people also use postcards and inland letters for communication. A letter takes a day or more to reach its destination. If you want to reach a person immediately, we use a telephone or mobile phone. But postcards take some time. It takes one day or a week or more than that to reach a person based on the locality. If it is nearby distance, it takes just a day. If it is long distance, it takes 2 or 3 days or more than that. So letters are also a mode of communication where we can write it in the words and we can send the letter or inland or postcards to the concerned person. So some people also use postcards and inland letters for communication. Radio. Have you all listened radio? Do you all have the habit of listening radio? Yes, radio is also a common means of communication. You can hear the news, you can be updated hearing to the radio. Even for the cricket, they used to listen in the radio. All these things, songs, you can listen to the radio. All these things happens, you can use the radio as a mode of communication. People mostly use the radio to listen to the news and songs. We usually use the radio to listen to the news and songs. Wherever they go, they switch on the radio and they used to hear in the old past days. But nowadays, in the mobile itself, there's a radio facilities and there's updations of newses and there's an update of songs. Everything is coming. So the communication of radios has been reduced. But listening the songs in the radios also gives us immense pleasure. Television. We all, though the communication has been vastly developed, then too we never forget television. Television is a very, very, very important mode of communication and it is also a very interesting mode of communication. Television is the most powerful and interesting means of communication. The pictures and sound make it very interesting for the people watching it. So not only the people use mobile phones, but now they still believe that television is a very, very, very powerful and important and interesting means of communication. Though the cell phones and mobile phones vastly has been developed also, television remains its place as the same. The pictures and the sound make it very interesting for the people who are watching it. So it is still remaining at its place as a very important means of communication. Newspapers, books and magazines play a vital role, though we are now available with mobile phones, radios and all the modes of communication. Still we have people who cannot start the day without a newspaper. We have to read the newspaper daily. They have the habit of reading the newspapers daily. It's a very, very good habit. It develops the reading capacity. It develops the knowledge. So newspapers plays a vital role in us as a mode of communication. As the same, we are still reading the books daily in our life. We have to read books and magazines. Gives us some knowledge about the authors and their views, their ideas and thoughts which can be shared to us. So communication is not only depends on the radios, television, postcard. Even newspapers, books and magazines also plays a vital role of communication to us. Here is an unscramble the letters to find some common means of communication. Rearrange the circle letters to find an important means of communication. What is the word? Have you all identified the word? Yes, T N R I N E T. Unscramble the words, rearrange the words, and found it's internet. Yes, internet. Nowadays, internet is a very important role it's playing as a means of communication. Without internet, the day is not starting, the day is not ending, the day is not running. So internets are the major important role in today's technology's world. So internet. The internet helps us to look for any information quickly. If you want to know about anything, immediately if you search in the Google, then it says the information about it. It also helps us to send and receive emails, messages, chats, everything. We have the Twitter, we have the Google Mails, we have lots of things to communicate. So internet is playing a major vital role. You want to know any information about the past, present or anything, then immediately if you search, you will be finding the information in the internet. So without internet, we can't survey in today's technology world. Day by day, we need to update ourselves. So the ways of communicating is, we have many things as way of communication. What are the ways of communication we have learned? The ways of communications are radio, television, postcard, internet, all the newspaper, books, magazines are all the ways of communication. But having such many ways of communication, these ways of communication has to be done very safely. Safety is also very important. So ways to communicate safely. We are connected to the entire world to the modern means of communication. There are lots of modern means of communication. The modern means of communication, here comes the WhatsApp, Twitter, YouTube, all those things comes under the internet. So these are the modern means of communication, but it is also very important to be careful while using them. It is very important to be careful while you are using them, because we may reach to any unknown personalities. We have to be safe while using it. We have to know who is good, who is bad, what you're doing is right and what you're doing is wrong. All those things need to be identified by us. So we need to be very safe, because there are lots of trackers. Many things are being done. Even they have started to track our information, banking details, personal details and photos. All these things can be grabbed very easily. So we need to communicate, we need to be very safe while using this modern means of communication. These modern means of communications are there to help us, not to harm us. So we need to use them very carefully and with very safety and securely. How should you communicate? Read the given situations. Pick the action that you must follow and cross out the one that you should not do. Can we watch the television very close For your age, at this age, television is a mode of communication. You're all using the television. Can you watch the television sitting nearby it? No. You have to sit at a long distance. So put a cross for it sitting close and put a tick for sitting at the long distance and watching the television, so that it doesn't harm your eyes. So it should be very safety also. Using this communications, it should be very safe for your health purpose also. It is very needed thing. You should not harm your eyes by sitting closely and you're watching the television. Next comes using the laptops, systems, computers. Using computer to talk to strangers. Can you talk to the strangers? No, you should avoid talking to the strangers. Only to the person whom you know as your family member, you can communicate to them, unless you can talk to the other persons with the guidance of your parents. You should avoid talking to the strangers. Since you are all very small, you have to use the computer under the guidance of your parents, not by your own, because it not only harm your eyes, at the same time it is very dangerous when you talk to the strangers. So put a cross for it. Spending too much time on the computer playing games, is it a right thing? Nowadays most of the children are watching the videos, songs, without watching the videos in the YouTube channels. They are not having their breakfast, lunch, all those things. Is it all right thing? They are spoiling yourself. You are spoiling yourself. So you have to play. You can concentrate your time. You can spend your time in playing. It is a very good active physical exercise, rather than watching the cell phone for a long time. Reduce the time. You have to fix a time for yourself. Hardly I can see for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, not more than that. You need a break. You have to go, you have to play, you have to read, you have to concentrate on some other things. Not all the day. You have to sit in the cell phone, play games, watch videos. Then only I'll have the food. Threatening your parents, all those things are very bad and harmful to yourself. You're not hurting your parents, you're hurting yourself. So spending too much of time on the computer playing games is a very wrong thing. So put a cross. Talking politely on the phone. Can you talk rudely in the cell phones? Yes, come here, sit here, go. Can I talk like that to you? No. Talking politely on the phones. To whomever you speak, to your parents, to your friends, to your elders, to your youngers, to whomever you speak, you have to talk politely. So put a tick for it. Shouting at friends. Can you shout at your friends? No, you are not supposed to shout at your friends. You are not supposed to fight at each other. So shouting at friends is also a wrong thing. So try to avoid it. Always be kind and polite. If you see someone is crossing their limits and getting anger, try to control them with the polite and sweet and kind words, like talk softly, be kindful, please be calm. Try to use those words and make them calm and settle from their anger. So this lesson is all about communication. You all know about what is communication. To share your ideas, to share your thoughts to someone, to a person, that is known as communication. What are the ways of communication you have learned in this lesson, and what are the uses of our communication also you have learned in this lesson, and what are the rules to be followed also you have known in this video. So ways of communication are telephone, television, mobile phone, computer, newspaper. So these are the ways of communication. Telephone, television, mobile phone, computer, newspaper. All the ways of communication are known to you at this age itself. You are using all the modes of communication. These are the ways of communication which are using in your day-to-day lives. What are the uses? Uses of communication is nothing but you can send messages, watch movies or sporting events, talk to people in other countries, get information on news and entertainment. What are the uses? You can send a message, you can watch a movie, you can listen to the songs, you can hear the sports status, you can talk to the people who are staying in other countries, you can get informations on newspapers and entertainment areas. And what are the rules to be followed? Be polite, watch TV or play games on the mobile for short duration. You have to be very polite while talking to your friends or relatives, and you can watch television and you can play also games. You can also use the mobile, but only for a short duration. The short duration is not one hour or 2 hours. The short duration is short duration. It cannot extend more than 10 to 15 minutes. Take the help of an adult while using the computer. You have to take the help of your others. Without your parents or without the elders' guidance, you should not use the mobiles or computers. They are very dangerous. However, they are so useful to us in the mode of communication. As the same, they are very harmful to us and danger too. So without your parents and without your elders' guidance, you are not supposed to use it at this age. Here comes an activity. Yes, here are some signs and their meaning has been given. You all would have seen some signs and symbols. So what they represent? What are these signs represent? On the way you are passing by, you would have seen lots of signs. These are it. So putting the waste in the dustbin. So it says keep clean. You have to keep clean. The place has to be kept clean. Next, school children. So crossing area. So drive the vehicle slowly. This area where the school children crossing. So drive your vehicle slowly. And this is nothing but way to restroom. Way to restroom. Do not turn right. Do not turn right. Since there is a cross symbol is there, do not turn right. Do not turn right. And last but not least is wet floor. The floor is watered, so it is a wet floor, so you may fall down. So these are the signs and symbols. When you look at the symbols itself, it denotes what it wants to say. So it is communicating something to us, like don't put the waste, keep the place clean. This is a school area, so drive slowly. This is a restroom, then do not turn to right, do not turn to left, no parking area. So this is a wet floor. So when you see these symbols, it says that signs, it denotes as few things. It communicates as few things. What to do and what not to do. As the same, the communication helps us to communicate many things to others when you use it properly and purposefully. So this is all about the communication video. It is a single video. The whole lesson is explained detailedly. What are the ways of communication and what are the uses of communication and how can you use the communication things very purposefully, very carefully, very safely. We need to use the communication. We need to convey, we need to communicate things, we need to share ideas using these technologies, everything. But make it safely without harming yourself. Thank you, children. Keep smiling, have a great day, and enjoy watching the videos. Thank you.